What was it that was your first job? Your first job. What was it? I remember mine. I was 12 years old, 6th grade. I was borrowing my stepfather's riding mower, push mower, and weed whacker. And I would mow lawns. I had a drive to make money at a very young age. Did I make much money? Nope. I worked for 3 months or 4. I worked many months that year to accumulate $350. 12 years old, worked hard. I wouldn't say that hard. Let's say 3 days a week for like 3 hours a day. Something like that. So 9 hours a week, something like that. Maybe more, 12 hours a week. And I did that for like 3 or 4 months. And I ended up making $350. I had a goal in my mind. My goal was to get a puppy. At our house, we had a boxer that was getting older, maybe 7, 8 years old, maybe 8 years old, getting older, and I seen pictures of puppy boxers, and they looked adorable. And I'm 12 years old, and my goal was to work all fucking summer long, sweat off my back for technically really a minuscule amount of money, but it seemed like a lot to me because I never seen that kind of money before. So that was a lot of money to me, and I felt very proud. And I could have bought anything with that money. I could have bought anything. And I saved up for the same purpose I started, and that was to buy a puppy boxer. I had my stepdad drive me out to, it was like an hour away, and I bought a puppy that was AKC certified and all that shit. And I bought the puppy, I brought him home, I was in love. I stuck around with that boxer, that puppy, the whole time. I would get out of school, I'd go straight to my puppy, make sure it's potty trained, make sure it's doing the things it's supposed to be doing. I would scold it if it was going to the bathroom inside, and I loved this puppy, and I was connecting with the puppy. Puppy wouldn't leave me. So I had a goal with my money, with my labor, with my time, to get a puppy and and I was living out in the country at that time. We just moved out into the country. I didn't know any friends, and friends were not even in bicycle distance, which I was used to prior, living in the city and the suburbs. I was used to just walking outside and there's friends, right? Your neighbor's like across the street. Your other neighbor's right next to you, and they have kids your own age, right? And I went from that to being out in the country where literally I would ride my bike for a mile to find somebody my age. Or at least that I would find outside, right? And trying to play. So I needed like companionship kind of thing. I needed a friend. And I wanted a puppy. And it was a great thing. It taught me a lot of lessons. And we'll get into that. I'm sorry, I got to sip the coffee. Boy, do I love coffee. Taught me a lot of lessons. Taught me the value of money. Taught me the value of my time. Taught me the importance of saving up for what you want. And to finally get to that point, especially like with another creature like a dog, it gives you a lot of joy. And sometimes, and a lot of times, that joy can be forever. I'm never going to lose that joy that I had when I had that dog. Dog died when he was like 8. I think I was 20 when he died. He was old, he had seizures, and he ended up dying. And I cried. You cry when you love a dog and you've been with that dog for so long. You raised it every fucking moment that you're together, kind of thing. And I really love that dog, and I have a big heart. So the point is I'm getting at with that is that I learned a valuable lesson at a very young age about the importance of money and the strive for that money when I was 15, I got my second job. This was an on-the-books job. It wasn't a freelance entrepreneur, let me mow your lawn, give me some money. It was, I worked at it's like a supermarket, we'll say. It was a supermarket. Not like Walmart, but more like a Tops or a Publix, but even bigger than a Publix. It's called Wegmans. I worked there for 4.5 years. When I was 15 till I was 20. And when I first started there, I was making $5.25 an hour. And I was pleased with that shit. Whatever money I can get to smoke my pot, right? So my value of money was, I need to work. I want stuff. I want to work at a young age. And since I was 15 till now, I always had a job. Always wanted money. However, that money that I was making was never substantial. Was never a huge amount. Working at that place between the ages of 15 to 20, I started off at $5.25 an hour. I made it up to like $7.50 an hour, something like that. After 4.5 years of working, and minimum wage was going up at that time. So as I was getting my raises, my minimum wage was going up for everyone. And it's important to figure out that those type of jobs are essential. They're very important when you're not making much money at a very young age. It gives you the value of how much your labor turns into money. So at a very young age, I think flipping burgers, working as a cashier, as just mowing lawns, just for a minuscule amount of money, this is very valuable. My mom is getting my niece to do chores around the house kind of thing. And she's like, for each chore, she gets like a quarter or something. You know, and they're simple chores that she should be doing anyways, like clean your room, things like that, right? Clean the kitchen sink, whatever, right? And she gives her a quarter. Well, she's adding up these quarters, and they're starting to become a decent amount of money. So she realizes after working and working and working for these quarters that she's making enough money to get the toy that she wants. And my niece is, I think she's turning 9 soon. She's 8, I think. I think I should know. I see her a few times. I see her often enough. Anyways, so she's learning the value of just a little bit of money stacking up to be of something that's more of worth. And it's very important to realize this at a young age. I didn't get that at a young age. When I lost a tooth, I would get a dime, a nickel. You know, like, I didn't get paid for chores. Anyways, the point is that I'm getting at is that when you're young, I think it's very valuable to know and to have jobs that don't pay you an extreme amount of money, because it teaches you worth. It teaches you what you're worth per hour, your time, your effort, and it minimizes it, which makes it so much better and so much more of a reward in the long run. Now, an issue that I'm seeing is that everyone's fighting for minimum wage to go up. They want fast food workers to make $15 an hour. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard about this shit. It's real. People are really thinking that $15 an hour for an entry-level fucking 15-year-old can work. Making $15 an hour. It's fucking ridiculous. If a 15-year-old is making $15 an hour, he works 30 hours a week, you know, after school and shit, that's a lot of fucking money for a young kid. That's what, $450, something like that? Yeah, $450 a week for a young kid. That's a lot of money. That's like you can pay rent yourself at 15 years old. That shouldn't be fucking there, man. This is gonna remove the people that are ambitious in life, that want to learn a trade, learn something that requires more of a skill. It's gonna remove people that are driving trucks. Look at the truck drivers. I did the math. I work 100 hours a week. And if I'm making $1,500 a week, that's $15 an hour. If I can do $15 an hour at any other place, twiddling my thumbs at fucking Walmart, I'm going to leave my job. Because I can twiddle my thumbs at Walmart and leave at the end of the day and go home. And there's no real reason for truckers to be out there if people are making the same amount of money flipping a bird. A 15-year-old is making as much money as a highly skilled laborer that's worked their whole life to make this money, that's earned that amount of money. So if you're a librarian and you're 14, 15 years old, young girl, getting out of school, just working at the library for a few hours, you're not learning anything of value. Because now you're making all this kind of money, the same amount of money your parents are making. It's fucking ridiculous, right? There is nothing to motivate you to go to college, to become better, to become an engineer. Because now, you're going to be making $15 an hour. That's just fucking ridiculous to my mind. You're going to remove decent people that deserve more. If you're making $7 an hour at Burger King right now, and you chose to make your $7 an hour, interview happens, hey, we're going to start you at $7 an hour, and you're like, okay. Don't fucking complain a year later that you're making $7 an hour. It just doesn't make sense. Move up, do something better, prove your worth. If you're in competition with other people, don't just expect. Like I said in my expectations versus whatever video, I don't remember, just made it recently. I said there are people that are expecting a specific wage, and I put my roommate into the equation because my roommate expected to get paid a lot, to get all the hours just by showing up, just because he had experience, some experience in the field. He just expected. But then he realizes he is in competition with other people, and other people are working a lot harder than he is, let alone probably has a better personality, more punctual, whatever, right? More of a smile on their face, good with customers. You got to have these qualities. You don't just expect to make as much money as the person that is actually well more ambitious than you. It just doesn't work. You're not. An employer is going to hire you for what you're worth. And if you're not worth it for the employer, they don't want you there. You don't just show up and be like, hey, it's discriminatory if you're fucking going to just fire me. No. Do your fucking work. So this world is, leaning's not the right word. This world is, especially our country, but the world is adapting a philosophy of socialism and adding it as a government superpower to make this a socialist nation, let alone world. New world order. And when they're instilling that everyone's going to be making $15 an hour, well, you're not going to be prosperous. I mean, just look at Puerto Rico, that pretty much everyone makes $7 to $8 an hour. Not too many people make $30 an hour in Puerto Rico, unless you're like top 1% of 1% in Puerto Rico. No one makes money there. Everything there is Walmart type jobs, fast food jobs. There's not anything there for an entrepreneur or somebody that wants to run their own business and make a lot of money. Everything there is $7, $8 an hour, $9 an hour in Puerto Rico. They want that in the United States, where they're going to, $15 an hour for everybody's going to raise the cost of living, make it just so everyone makes about the same amount of money, just enough to pay the fucking bills. It's not a healthy concept. People aren't learning good trades that are going to be bettering our economy and the nation that we're in. We're going to have to outsource everything because you're going to have to make everything $15 an hour. Do you understand this? Who wants to be a scientist when everyone's making $15 an hour? Who wants to cure cancer when you're making 15 bucks an hour and you're barely surviving, when your cure for cancer is probably going to be about 15, maybe 18 bucks an hour, right? Now I'm under exaggerating, whatever that word is, under appreciating what they're actually getting paid. But the point is, no one's going to be wanting to do more, because your trade, your skill, whatever that is only going to amount to $15 an hour. Let's say $18 an hour. Are you going to go above and beyond and be in debt for $100,000 for college if you're going to make $18 an hour? No, you're not going to go that route. You're going to make your $15 an hour just like everyone else in the slave fucking corporate world. This is why I call it corporate slavery. Instead of letting the free market capitalist society run its course in the free market, the problem is that it's going to be socialist soon unless we stop it, and everyone's going to be making 15 bucks an hour, and this country's going to go to shit. I'm telling you straight up, it's quite common sense, common knowledge that socialism is not going to bring prosperity to the individual or their family, and no one's going to want to be ambitious or prosperous, and no one's going to overwork. No one's going to ever be a hard worker, and everyone's going to be obedient to the government. So when we have the 15-year-old that's making $5 an hour, there's nothing wrong with it. If you're 20 and you have a child, and your significant other and your child are trying to make a living, well, socialism's not going to help, because mommy's going to have to stay home, daddy's going to have to go to work, and you're not going to ever be able to pay your bills at $15 an hour between the two of you, your child, and it's going to raise the price on everything in the market. Money should be something that you should be ambitious towards, and those who are not ambitious towards the money should not deserve the rewards of the results that people that are ambitious get. It doesn't make sense to me that people want to strive and not work. There are strivers and there are people that don't work. They shouldn't be making the same amount of money, because those people that strive and have innovations and inventions and put forth greater things into the community, well, they're going to be less and less. And corporate slavery is a real thing, and it's through socialism that this can occur. Those life lessons that I received are not going to be there. You're going to be succumb. You're going to be powerless if we let this continue. Don't let the government tell you, or rather, some people want to tell the government what you should be making. You should go out there in the free market and make your way. Learn the lessons. Understand what it is that makes people money, decent amount of money. And don't just beg the government for more money if you're not worth it, if you're not even working towards it. You know? You don't have any skilled trade, and you want your entry-level job to be that of which would be the same as somebody that's highly skilled. I already broke down the math with my trucking. You know, I might make $1,500 a week, but I'm fucking working $100 hours a week. And if you put that into perspective, it's only $15 an hour. So, I'm getting at, when you're in this life and you're not prosperous, and you want to take the people's money that are prosperous and give it to you, you are a piece of shit. You are the asshole I was talking about a couple videos ago about the lottery guy, or the guy on a Sunday stroll, not troll. That's the way I put it, is troll. But Sunday stroll through the country roads, 20 miles an hour underneath the speed limit, and won't let you by. And he has a line of vehicles for miles behind him. Don't be that asshole. If you're not going to be humble and ambitious, then what the fuck are you doing? Don't complain because you don't have the same skills as somebody else. If I went to Russia And I don't speak the Russian language. I don't go there and expect huge paychecks. Until I learn Russian, I learn the skills that are required to make good money in Russia. Has nothing to do with my ethnicity, has nothing to do with anything else. Has something to do with my skills, my ambitions, my drive, and what I know. Now, if a Mexican worker comes to America and is happy roofing for $8 an hour, and he works 80 hours a week roofing, and he's breaking his back over this shit, that's what he's going to get. This is what he's chosen. And people are going to hire that. Because the problem here is that everyone wants money, but they don't want to work for it. And they're losing the strive that you should have gotten as a teenager for that little bit of money. Because when you can't afford an apartment on your own at 16 years old, I was kicked out of my house when I was 16 or 17. I'm losing my fucking mind. I think 16. No, 17. I got kicked out of my house, and I was a couch surfer for a while. I got kicked out of my house because I was selling drugs. And I got kicked out by my mom. And the point is, I had to make it on my own. I learned the values, not because that was a good thing what my mom did. That was a terrible thing. That was a shitty fucking thing to do to a child. You don't just abandon your fucking child. Anyways, but I learned what I had to learn in life to be successful and understand the power of that dollar, the power of my labor, the power of what I can be of worth. So if I increase my worth, I can increase my revenue, what I make. And kids these days are not going to learn the same lessons that I learned and previous generations have learned about how valuable even a little bit of money is. Because now, $100 to me isn't shit. But when I was 12, $100 required a whole month of me working. Or more. Trying to do the math. Yeah, about a month when I was 12. That would be $10 a lawn. That would be about 3 hours for... No, that would be like all week for like $20 or something. I don't remember. I don't remember what my wages were. It's like $20 a week. But we need to stop this socialist movement, because it is only going to bring havoc to our country. Now, I'm an anarchist, but to some level, I agree with capitalism. You can call me an anarcho-capitalist, which would mean that I value money and the free market and being able to buy and sell goods with a number. I like that because that tells you what you're worth, and it's actually quite valuable. Now, I'm not fond of the Federal Reserve and all their shit like that, but to some extent, I like money. I like money a lot. I like the concept of money. I like the fact that you can show the worth of who you are. But when you bring order and more government power into the equation, you're only destroying the fabric of who you are, what you're worth, your ambition, your goal, your motivation, your drive. You destroy this. You destroy competition in the free market. You destroy people trying to go above and beyond with new trades and new innovations and new inventions. You destroy that when you bring socialism into the equation. So that's enough for this video. I'm going to make another video at the shipper here about trucking. So if you're one of the people that are on my channel for trucking, stay tuned for that video. That should be coming unless they load me too quick, or I gotta be in one of those scenarios where I gotta be inside while they load me or whatever. But stay tuned for more content. I have 1,000 videos coming your way. They're all up here. I'm just gonna produce them very slowly so you have content daily. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for more content.